Hi everyone, I'm Linda Welbrock, the founder and CEO of Leading Women Entrepreneurs, and I am so excited to have Brooke Sellas with us, the founder of B Squared Media. So congratulations, Brooke, on being named a top 25 leading women brand builder. We're so thrilled to have you here with us. I know that you are just filled with all sorts of insights on how we can build our social media and marketing following. So let's start with a little bit about your history, because I think it's so interesting on how you got launched into this world.
It is. It's truly interesting. So way back in 2007, when Facebook was a wee baby on the social space, I actually worked a nonprofit for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in Dallas. And I was charged with figuring out how to get young professionals involved with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Well, people really don't know what CF is. So my struggle was, how can I get young professionals involved in something they don't even really understand or know what it is? So I thought beer would be one way, and the other way would be using Facebook. So I used Facebook to basically create a pub crawl in Dallas for young professionals, and in a little over 3 months, we got 7,500 people to sign up and ended up raising over $60,000 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation through this event. So I kind of started to realize, like, hey, wait a minute, this Facebook thing, there's something to it.
Yes, there is.
And that kind of planted the seed, which then became B Squared Media.
Okay, so B Squared Media, what's your main focus right now?
So we are a done-for-you social media and advertising agency, which means that our clients come to us and they actually hand us their social media pages. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or social media advertising or Google AdWords. We actually take the account from the client. We work with the client closely, but we do everything from soup to nuts. So we write all of the content, we come up with the strategy, we do all of the posting on the page, all of the responding, and we do it for the client 365 days a year.
Okay, so who's your ideal client?
Our ideal client, honestly, industry-wise, it doesn't matter, because we work with clients from luxury appliance brands to Fortune 500 companies to small mom and pop shops. As long as they really understand how social media works and that it's really more about the consumer and not so much about sales, we're more than happy to work with the client. So I think just if they have a little bit of knowledge about how social media works and keeping the social in social, right, then we're very happy to work with the client.
Okay, so there's so many algorithms, there's so many new rules. What's the latest thing for Facebook? A tip you could give a business owner? The
biggest thing that's happening with Facebook right now is around GDPR. So I'm sure everyone's heard about this general data protection regulation, which basically says if somebody's over on EU soil, you can no longer say, hey, if you give me your email address, I'll send you this free piece of content. You can't do that according to GDPR anymore. So Facebook has already changed the rules, not only for the EU, but also for US soil, meaning you have to be very careful about the ways you collect data, whose data you're collecting, and what you do with that information, or you can get fined, very hefty fines. So right now, our biggest thing is informing the clients, hey, this is what's happening with GDPR, helping them update their privacy policies, and then helping them understand some of the rules that have changed for advertising, for instance. So with advertising, you can't do certain things that you used to be able to do with Facebook, like target people based on income and information like that, because it's being protected now. It's protected information.
Now. Okay.
Yeah, but it was a free-for-all before, and now they're really kind of tightening the reins. So it's a good and bad thing. It's going to make it harder for consumers and the do-it-yourself crowd, but it's, I think, good for agencies like ours, because we can do it for you. Right. We already have kind of that information and that know-how in place, and you don't have to worry about doing it right or wrong.
Okay, so what are the keys, in your opinion, of building a successful brand?
Gosh, I think, the number one thing that I would say to people is understanding that the consumer comes first, right? So, it's always, when you talk to people, they always want to get their story out, or they want to make this sale happen, or they have to meet this quota, and that's not really how social works, or it's not conducive with social. Social is really more about the conversation, which is why our tagline is think conversation, not campaign, because while the campaign is important and it is part of what we do, the conversation is the most important thing. If you can get involved in the online conversations that are already happening about your brand and gently guide them in the direction that you want to go versus versus trying to like manipulate or tell people what your brand is supposed to be, you'll do a much better job than if you just kind of say, no, this is our brand and this is how it is, because really we don't have that availability anymore.
That's very interesting to think about. Very important, simple, but profound in some ways, right? Because it goes against your kind of natural instincts to just go out there and start having a conversation. But I think you're right. It is probably the most impactful way to use social media.
It does, and you'd be surprised like how much consumer research can happen on social. So just in like the mere fact of sharing different types of content, so you have a media mix of like entertainment content, promotional content, sales content, marketing content, you can start to look at what consumers are doing around that content. How are they interacting with that content? Are conversations happening around that content? And then you'll know, hey, this type of content's really performing best, this is performing worse, and it kind of tells you how to make little micro changes to move forward and have better conversations online.
Right. Okay, great. Well, our last question is about our theme for the event, which is Transforming Tomorrow Together. So what does that message mean to you?
For me, I think it really embodies women. So our whole team is made up of all women. We're all remote. And I really think that we, as a whole, we meaning all the ladies on the team, are transforming what we do. They transform B Squared. I say they. We transform B Squared, I feel like, every 6 months. Because we have such great communication skills and we're such great storytellers and we really, truly care, right? We're the caregivers. So when we bring on a client, everyone cares, everyone's involved, and we're really transforming how the company works together as a team of really bright, focused women. And I love that, which is why I keep hiring women.
That's fantastic. I like just the whole analogy that you just shared with us, and the idea that together your team is going to go big places together.
We are, and I'm just so excited and so thankful that we won this award so that they can see that the fruits of their labor are really paying off.
Well, it's well deserved, and we can't wait to celebrate you and your team on September 21st, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.